Eszterházy Podcast.
Hi, this is the Eszterházy Podcast, the voice of youth, a podcast about international student life. My name is Kristina Nagy, and my guests today are
Erika Beck
and
Lindsey, Cuen,
our colleagues from the International Office at Eszterházy Károly Catholic University. With Lindsey and Erika, we will summarize the work of the international students and mentors this semester and take a look at the lives of international students and what has been happening with them over the past 5 months. Lindsey, Erika, welcome back. How was this semester? How many students and how many countries did Eszterházy Károly Catholic University host?
Well, we just finished, I think, successful semester. It was a bit challenging in the beginning as there were some new laws that were coming into fruition through the immigration office. And this meant that there was about 2 months or so break in immigration, which meant that we couldn't really receive new students. And it was specifically at the beginning of the semester, as the semester was starting. And so that was a bit challenging. So we weren't sure who was going to be able to come and who wasn't. It was all kind of last minute. But for the most part, I think most of them were able to come. And I think the semester went really well. They seemed to enjoy themselves.
Yes, I agree with Lindsey. It's been amazing and challenging a little bit, the first part particularly. But everybody got here, or if some students couldn't arrive, hopefully they will come and join us next semester in autumn. You ask how many students and from which country. They here still around 120 international students we have at the university and from over 130 countries.
It is important to mention not only the international student but also the mentor network on the campus. What does it mean?
The mentor network is something that started a couple years ago, and actually our boss, Johanna Gemmel, started it with this idea that we would be able to bring together the mentors. We have sort of 2 groups or 2 types of students, essentially 3 actually. We have the self-financing students, and then we have the Erasmus students and the Stipendium Hungaricum students. And in the past, there's been a bit of a division because the Stipendium students stay here for their full career, their full university time, which is at least 2 to 3 years. That can be a different type of student than those who are here for 1 semester. And we wanted to avoid this division. And so as a result, we decided to create this mentor network where both Stipendium and Erasmus mentors work together to provide all the care that our students need. And it's something that was really important to me when I started working here, because I remember what it was like to be here and to be a foreigner and how difficult everything was, just not speaking the language well. And I felt like there was nothing I could really do myself. I needed help with everything, and I needed my hand to be held. And there were those specific people who were very mindful of this need and were really helpful to me and really made it possible for me to survive this time. And so I really wanted, that was my goal in working here, was to be able to help these students with that same transition and acclimation to the life and the culture here. And so the Mentor Network is this sort of network of people that are here just to assist our students in helping them get used to life here.
How can someone become a mentor?
It's something that we've recently started working on is growing our mentor network and the people that are available. This way, it's not too taxing on any single or a few people, and it's a way that we can sort of manage the load together and spread out that work. And so just within the last year or so, we've started recruiting intentionally more mentors. And now we actually have an email that they can email us at if they would like to join the mentor network. And it is Eszterházy Mentor Network at uni-esterhazy.hu. And they can send us an email, and I or one of my colleagues will respond, and we'll let you know how you can be a part of the group. We actually have a form to fill out and just want to get some basic information and see what your motivations are and what any questions you might have. And so feel free to email us and we'll get back to you. It's really an important opportunity to be a family to people who are far away from their family and don't have anybody here with them, and an opportunity for you to experience another culture.
Is there any deadline for the application?
I guess we could say August, maybe the middle of August would be the latest, that we'd really like to start getting together and planning things for the future before that. And so maybe the middle of August would be, if you want to be a part of the next semester, that's probably the most important, but there isn't a hard deadline. Anybody can join at any point, honestly. We're just happy for people who want to help our students get acclimated here.
I agree with Lindsey, like everybody is welcome at any point really, but it just helps if you come and join us at the beginning of the semester as we plan trainings, related trainings to mentoring and so on. So it always helps everyone to be knowledgeable and, get ready for the actual semester.
And is there any training for the mentors?
Yes, we usually try to meet with the mentors before the semester starts and kind of talk about what it means to be a mentor and what it looks like practically. And we also try to manage their expectations and help them to be a little bit more comfortable with what they're committing to, because I think some of the students, they're still students, so they're concerned about the load. And the goal is that if more people help, then it'll be less of a load for everyone and we'll be able to do it all together. And so we usually sit down with them and we go through what it looks like to be a mentor and also what it doesn't look like, because we have found in the past that sometimes they struggle with boundaries and having healthy boundaries. All of our students are first students here, and then they have these other opportunities to serve and help others. And so we want to make sure that they keep their education a priority. And so we do talk to them about that and having healthy boundaries too.
And you don't have to think about too hard tasks to help with. So if anything is very particularly needs more specialists, obviously we would direct those students to the right sources. I would also mention that we work with other departments at the university, like committee, who would also support our students and mentors with team building events. And if any other questions they have, they can turn to these people too.
And with all the mentors together, what programs have been organized for the student this year?
For every semester, we create an event sheet, a calendar, where we highlight smaller, bigger events. These are a mixture of cultural events, trips, but also social events such as board game nights. So, for example, for the spring semester, we had a couple of trips to Szilvásvárad, Lilafüred, but also some cooking nights. And we just came back from last week from a very exciting trip where we went to Ópusztaszer and Kecskemét, where we got to know more about the Asian-Hungarian history.
And as Erika mentioned, we do remember that this is also their opportunity to meet Hungary. And so while we have fun events that are not related to Hungary and the culture, we also want to present them with the culture. And so when we can, we try to organize a visit to the parliament, or for example, this semester we went to the House of Terror and different areas that are part of Hungary's history. We go to larger cities or join with a partner university to see what life is like there. And so we want to introduce them to the Hungarian culture and life, and also make sure that they feel at home and have people to celebrate with and things like that.
And of course, mentioned cooking events. After the COVID, we just sort of re-announced the Global Cooking Night event, which is an excellent international event at the university, which is open to Hungarians, university colleagues, workers, as well as international students. And we're very proud that it happened in April. And we plan to obviously do it again next semester.
Yeah, we need to mention to our listeners that our university Global Cooking Night, it's really important because all the international students are representing their own country with food, with traditional dance or performances. And it's always enjoyable for everyone who's attending at this event.
Yeah, the Global Cooking Night was actually the biggest event that we have had in the past. And one of the things that we really wanted to bring back after COVID, because it's always been the most successful event and a great opportunity to mix the Hungarian culture with all of the colorful cultures of our international students. And so it's great to see people from the community come out to that. And it's hard once you take a break to sort of get started on that again and remind people of this event. And so this year was actually more successful than we had expected, and the room was full and we really enjoyed it. And we hope that it'll just continue to grow and have even more colors and cultures contributing to this event so that we can truly be international. Another thing that we started this semester is the drama class. It's an opportunity for our students to work through their experiences and their life and the emotions and all the things that come with that using the skill of drama. And they also get to practice English in that that. And so it really is a multifaceted class. And this year, the Language Services Department hosted again the English Cafe. And at the English Cafe, they performed their drama that they had been working on for the semester. And so that was really a great opportunity to see all that they've been doing this semester. And we hope that there'll be more performances in the future. It seemed to be a very successful class.
We need to mention that not only international students, but Hungarian students can also join, work together, and do a performance together at the end of the course.
Exactly. So it's a great opportunity for Hungarians and international students to practice their English language and to get to know each other better.
Was there anything that was more difficult to implement this year?
I guess, as we mentioned, the Global Cooking Night was a bit of a challenge because of the big break due to COVID, and also to match our even sort of international students' event calendar to the university event calendar. So we try to work together very closely with the communication department for next year to obviously match these events even closer. But I guess it went very well.
I think one of the other things that we kind of struggled with a bit is wanting to take, for example, this Opus Dacer trip, wanting to take trips that are a little bit farther away to show the students a different part of Hungary. But, it's so far away that with public transportation, it can take all day to get there. And so we were fortunate enough to receive the approval from the leadership of the university to be able to finance a bus. And this way we're able to still keep in mind that we want to protect the environment, but we traveled with more people. And so it was a more practical way of going to see something that they didn't have an opportunity to see in the past. And the students were quite grateful for this. And so after working out the kinks of how to get there, they were very thankful for the opportunity to see some of the traditional Hungarian life and culture, and also to see Kecskemét, a very beautiful city. And actually my first time seeing it after living here 10 years. So I was happy for that.
What new things are you preparing for the next semester? Do you already have plans for this?
We discussed this question actually today, and we were joking in the office that this is a surprise. So obviously we would like to exceed our success of this year, next year, and we would also love to prepare better, sort of plan ahead our big main events, so it would go smoothly through the year. And yes, as I mentioned, some of them are still surprise, and we would plan at the summertime when it gets quieter.
Yeah, so this is really the time where we're finishing up last semester, and now we're going to start turning our attention towards next semester. And so over the summer, when it tends to be a bit of a downtime and there's less students around, that's when we really try to focus on planning ahead for the next year. And we agree that we want to do that in advance more than we have in the past, just so that we can really do it well and be prepared for all the facets of it. One of the things we did mention and discuss doing is this opportunity that we have from a local nonprofit group called Invisible Theater. And it is a sort of dramatic presentation using the senses, with the exception of vision or sight. And so you are blindfolded and you're led through a dramatic presentation like a play, but you're not watching it, you're experiencing it firsthand. And so you're sort of led around using the sense of scent or touch and all of these things to experience a play. And so we've talked with the group about doing this, performing this for our international students, and that's one thing that is ahead of us that we haven't yet tried. We also considered laser tag and things like that just can make it more interesting and help the students to enjoy their time here in the midst of their studying and focus. A little bit of a time to sort of relax and rest their minds and more enjoy their time physically.
I think we covered all we wanted today. Erika and Lindsey, thank you so much for taking time and to come and chat with us about this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To our audience, in case of further questions, students can reach the international office at the following email address: studentmobility@uni-esterhazy.hu. Take care, and we are looking forward to working with you next semester.
Eszterházy Podcast.